YouTube. Hello, social media. Welcome to Kitchen Des Shim. Welcome to Casa Des Shim. It's not a restaurant, although it sounds like one, but today it just might be. It is a cooking segment. That's right. We're cooking. We are not in the gym. No, we are cooking. So today I'm going to be showing you a delicious dish that I adore making, that I'll bet you've never made before, or you don't really know about, that's healthy, fast, simple, tasty, other things that make me point my finger at you passionately. We are going to be making tuna fish cakes. Now, canned tuna has been a staple for physique people for time immemorial, which is a phrase that my dad said a lot, and now I remembered it and I liked it. Immemorial, time immemorial. Now, most of us either have the canned tuna with nothing, if you're hardcore, unless you live hardcore. I don't do that. Some of us make it taste good with mayo and veggies, and I love that, and I do that too. But what I'm gonna show you today is we're going to be making tuna fish cakes with canned tuna from Costco, my favorite canned tuna. 1 can of these, albacore tuna drained in water. 1 can, 3 grams of fat, 0 grams of carbs, 42 grams of protein, 100% muscle growth promoting. I didn't make it up, it says it on the label. Look, So I am going to get my cast of characters together, and we are going to have the Knights of the Round Table assemble, and we're gonna make some delicious tuna fish cakes. We've got a 7-ounce can of Costco, Kirkland, which is the same thing as Costco. Albacore tuna in water, 42 grams of protein, 1 egg, 4C breadcrumbs. And if you watched my previous YouTube video, I made a reference to 4C breadcrumbs. When it's time to do the thing better than anyone. But when it's not time, bro, let me live. Like, tell me a joke. Talk to me about the stock market. Let's talk about why 4C breadcrumbs are the best breadcrumbs for frying chicken. Like, and now I can swear. You guys thought I was fucking around? No, I wasn't. 4C breadcrumbs are the superior breadcrumb. So we're gonna be using this and the egg as a binder, some sugar, some celery seed, dill, cayenne pepper, a little bit of Old Bay. You know, sometimes you gotta just go to your Old Bay, you know? It's cool to have a new Bay, but sometimes you gotta go back to Old Bay. That's a moment for me. We're gonna chop up a scallion and put that in there. We're gonna mix everything in a bowl, and then we are going to shallow fry it in some canola oil in the pan, take it out, add some salt to it, and we're ready to rock and roll. So, you know what? Let's rock and roll. So, we're getting this in real time, so you're gonna see how fast this comes together. I am always here because I have a bias. I really love cooking. It's a hobby of mine, so I'm always here to cook a delicious meal that takes time and effort, but sometimes you just want something tasty that's simple, easy, cheap, and doesn't take a whole lot of time. So this can be a quick weeknight meal. This can be a meal for the whole family. I'm not such a small person, so I'm eating a whole can, and this is probably gonna yield me about 4 fish cakes as I empty this into the bowl, about 4 fish cakes, but you could easily double or triple this recipe and make for the whole family. It meal preps really well. You can just microwave it. Shoot, you could probably even air fry it if you're nasty, and it will be great. So, we have canned tuna here, 7 ounces in, and I'm just breaking it up just like I would if I was making tuna salad or really doing anything with canned tuna. And as you may or may not know, canned tuna is innately quite salty, so you need to be really judicious, really careful with how much salt you add, because it can get really salty really fast. And once salt goes in, it cannot come out. But if you underdo it, you can always add more. So you want to get this pretty fine. Pretty fine. If there's a few textures in there, if there's a few pieces that are larger than others, That's good. That's Jewish star. That's fine. And now, the order with which you add everything to said bowl is pretty irrelevant. Just get the shit in there and get to fucking. So we're gonna go 1/4 cup panko. And for all of you that ask about tracking, 1/2 cup serving, 21 grams of carbs, 3 grams of protein. 1/4 cup is half of that, so 10.5 grams of carbs. Call it 10 grams of carbs. Nothing special. Then we're going to do 1 egg. I don't know why people, dude, I don't know why people herald the 1 egg, one-handed egg crack to be such a big deal. I should do a tutorial, that's what I should do. It's not a big deal. Wow, yeah. Then we are actually going to add my favorite ingredient to any sort of canned tuna dish, whether it's a typical tuna salad or something like this. Believe it or not, it's sugar. So, I am all about having my flavors to be balanced in anything that I make, whether it's adding salt to my desserts, adding sugar to my chicken. I always want there to be a balance. I believe in Thai cuisine, they call that the yum, which is the balance of sugar, salty, savory, sour, and what they call the umami, which obviously is amorphous. No one knows what the fuck that is. So, I'm going to be starting here with 1.5 teaspoons of sugar, which comes out to 1/2 tablespoon as well. But I just wanted to use the same measure throughout. So 1/2 tablespoon of sugar in there, a small sprinkle of Old Bay, because I want to get some of the taste of Old Bay, but I don't want to have too much Old Bay. I mean, obviously, that's why I got a new bay. I don't have so much Old Bay. You know what I'm saying? You ever eat ube? Right. I'll continue. Now, I'm adding cayenne pepper because I want some heat. Again, balance. This isn't spicy fish cakes, it's just fish cakes. If we were doing spicy fish cakes, it would be different. And now, we're just going to add some herbs. So, dry dill, and I'm pretty heavy with my dried dill here because I think that dill and tuna just go together so perfectly. And then we're going to be adding dried celery seed. Now this is a little weird ingredient, I get that. You might not find this at every grocery store. If you don't have it, ain't the biggest deal. But if you can get it, it does make a big difference. So we're adding some of that in there. Very nice. And now I am just going to chop up a scallion. Get a nice knife here and then just cut right through. I'm gonna be using the greens and the whites. And I'll probably do about 1/2 of this. And the reason why I'm using a scallion and not a regular onion or a shallot is because scallions innately already have a pretty nice fresh flavor to them. And you don't want to overcook a scallion too much because then it sort of flies away in the oil, right? It reduces down. Now we're only going to be shallow frying this. So if I used onion or shallot, by the time this is done, I'm still gonna have that really oniony, shalloty kind of bite. And I don't want that. I just wanna add some freshness with a little bit of pop to the dish. And that's why I'm doing a scallion. I had to interrupt this video to tell you about our sponsor today. Nobody. This video is sponsored by nobody. But pretty soon, if you like, comment, and subscribe, it just might be. Look at me. Oh my God. I'm an online chef now, guys. Hey, doesn't just do fitness. Hey. So everything is in here, and now we're going to get it incorporated. So you've got 2 options to mix this. You can use your fork or you can use your hand. I'm gonna use a fork. And this recipe is so malleable. There's so many things that you can do to alter this thing. You can add Again, more spices, you can add more sugar. This can also be a really sneaky way for those of you who are parents to get your kids to eat more vegetables. You can sneak a bunch of vegetables in here. You can use bell pepper, you can use cabbage, you can put a coleslaw mix in here, a broccoli slaw mix in here. Of course, you can use the typical carrot, celery, onion. You can add all of that stuff in here, and it actually would make it even taste better. Today we're just putting a scallion. So I've mixed it all together, and now I'm lightly going to pack them into patties. So just right here, just really, really light. If any of you have ever made crab cakes before, it's a very similar idea. You can make them to whatever desired size you want, but also understand that the flatter that you make them, the faster they will cook. So this is just really lightly packed. If you make them into big mounds, it's okay, but understand that the outsides will crisp and cook, but the inside will not. And that's gonna be an annoying time for you. See, that broke, that's fine. Be right there, be right there. So this might even yield me a bit more because I'm really going flat on this one. So again, I hope that you can see I'm not overworking this. I'm not pushing too hard. I'm just sort of letting it form in my hand and lightly pressing together to give me these little discs, little destructo discs. Word to Krillin. Oh, you got that one, eh? Oh, you got that one. He fucking got one once. Hey. So we've got 5 here. And again, these are really, really lightly packed, but it's good. And for those of you that are dieting, this is a wonderful way to get a significant amount of protein in while still making it taste good. And having a relatively low amount of calories, that's just like this is a whatever piece. Whatever, that's like for the chef, you know, just to make sure that his stuff is good before anyone gets the actual good looking ones. So believe it or not, if I was to do the knowledge on this, which I will for you, the macros on this, 50 grams of protein right here. 50 grams of protein, around 15 or so grams of carbs, and as it stands right now, we're at about 6 grams of fat, 7 grams of fat. We're going to shallow fry in the pan, and the jury's out on how you want to track fat when you fry it in oil, because some of the oil's going in, but a lot of the oil's staying in the pan. You can add another 5 grams of fat, I would say. So call this 10, 15 grams of fat, but 10, 15 grams of fat, 10, 15 grams of carbs, and 50 grams of protein? Color me interested. And the cameraman just went like this. So he knows. So get yourself any kind of pan. If you want to make your life easy, get a pan that's large enough where you can fit everything in at the same time so you don't have to do this in batches. But that's okay if you don't do that. So just a thin layer of oil in the pan, canola oil for frying. At me that canola oil is not healthy for you. Canola oil is just fine, okay? Don't need to fry in olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil. You can do it if you want. Canola oil is absolutely canola oil is just fine. And by the way, if you see that my shirt is wet, before the cameraman came here, I was showering and I literally just came out of the shower and threw this on, okay? So I don't have weird sweat glands or something, it's just from the shower. Mans is clean, okay? Mans is clean. And I'm just putting everything away while I wait for the oil to heat up. So now the oil has come up to medium heat. So now all we're going to do is just shallow fry each tuna fish cake for probably around 3 to 5 minutes aside. I'll let you know if that's really what the temperature is gonna be. It's just really till each side gets golden brown and slightly crispy, and then we're gonna pull it like an old chicken, and that's it. And if you don't get that reference, it's because a pullet is another name for an old chicken. So, don't be afraid of the fryer, but be delicate with these because you did lightly pack them. You want to lay them away from you. And you just put one in at a time, just light. Don't be afraid of the fryer. I know people are. It's okay. It's not going to burn you. Yeah, so it was about 3 or 4 minutes on the first side. Maybe it'll be 3 or 4 minutes again. Jesus. Turn this over as well. Bam. That cooked about 4 minutes or so on each side. And look at them. I mean, I'll plate it up nice for you. Don't you worry, Instagram and everybody else. Don't you worry.
And so you do the whole calorie tracker, you
I do.
Macros, you measure
everything.
You get crazy with it?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I get crazy with it, but yeah, I do all the right stuff. How do I want to plate this? Yeah, plate it like this. Now that we've come to the end of cooking, we've got tuna fish cakes. They're made natural. They belong to me. I'm giving them to you. Tuna fish cakes. Delicious, healthy, nutritious, cheap, easy to make. You will love them. And now, the moment of truth, we will try them. Now, this is a canvas. There are many things you can do to it. I think as soon as you take it out, you should add salt to them. Because remember, we didn't salt them before. So, add some salt, and I'm just gonna try it for you as is. So hold on. Yes. 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 It's crunchy. It's got a little bit of chew. It tastes fishy in a good way. The sweetness is coming through from the sugar. You're getting a little bit of heat on the back end from the cayenne pepper, a little bit of natural saltiness from the fish, combined with a little bit of that Old Bay seasoning and the added salt to it. And then you are getting a pop of freshness from the scallion. So you really are getting an amalgamation of flavor here. Shit's happening is what I'm trying to tell you. It's really, really good. Now, some additional things you could do. If you're in a weight gain phase, you're in a living phase, or you just don't give a shit about any of that and you're just like, I just want to maximize flavor, put this in a sandwich. Get a brioche bun or get a sesame seed bun, toast it on both sides, add your accoutrements and a sauce, and put it in a sandwich, for sure. If not, you can just sauce this on your own. I, being the dastardly person that I am, I have this local Jamaican jerk sauce that's sweet and spicy. Shout out Jamaica House in Miami Gardens. I like to add that to this. I know that's weird, but hey, I'm me, I don't care. So I like to add that, but you can add any kind of sauce that you find attractive to this. You can serve this and have it with rice. You can have it with pasta. Sky's the limit. Or you can just have it on top of veggies. Plate of spinach, mixed veggies, broccoli, whatever. This flies in any weather is really what I'm trying to tell you. Dieting, weight gain, maintenance, or just you want tasty food. This is not one of those dishes that you just have because it's healthy. No, no, no. Taste comes first here. The health, #health, comes after. Thank you for stopping by. Make this. The recipe will be down below. Appreciate you. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's get this thing growing. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a wonderful day. Bye.